Good morning, Cohort 2. Welcome to your second Tuesday tune-in for the cohort. I hope you're doing well. I hope you find yourself ready for another exciting day here for you during the week. Today is Tuesday, which means we come to you once again with our regularly scheduled update, touch base, if you will, where I can talk to you about some of the stuff that we've done, some of the places that we're going, and then a tip that might be useful for you in your Ultra Course View courses in the future. So, starting about where we've done, oh my goodness, have we been there. Our first two due dates have come and gone, right? The Sunday due date, the Thursday due date was your start here, and the Sunday due date was your Module 1. So through those two, you guys have submitted some great work. I really have to say, a lot of what we submitted in that first module, once we got past the discussion, right, we shared some things about each other and Start Here. How long we've been teaching, if we've been teaching online, how long has that been? And then some other information, right? The photos have been great. People sharing the photos, the family photos I've seen, the scenery photos. I tried to go in and we left feedback on those, so you can go ahead and look. Make sure, again, to check out the feedback that we leave you on your graded work. One thing that I will say, when we got into Module 1, lots of folks talked about how, they're kind of new to this, right? Well, what I like to say in our first get-together, when we used to do this face-to-face, and it works the same way for online, which is wonderful, is that if you combined everybody in the room or everybody in this cohort with their digital teaching experience, you'd have over 100 years of experience. I say that to say that you can lean on each other, lean on your colleagues, and even not just one in this program, but ones down the hall. Teaching is not done in a silo. You have a cognitive surplus of folks who you can lean on, whether they be in your internal circle, in your program or your department, or your external circle in your professional learning network. There are folks that you can lean on and ask questions of, and this cohort is just the same. So I would highly encourage you during our discussion activities and things like that to lean into each other and try to learn from each other's experiences. So I will say that again. But that being said, we had some great submissions in those reflective journals, the course descriptions, and the workbooks for Module 1. Again, make sure to go in there and check for feedback. Our next due dates coming up for you, just as a reminder, you can always find those due dates in the syllabus. So were I to go to my syllabus, and I want to make sure I've zoomed in enough, and I have, were I to go to my syllabus in the course, remember that the syllabus is under course information for you, and at the bottom of the syllabus lists all the due dates. But I'm going to let you in on another little secret. Those due dates aren't just found there. They're also found in the calendar, but they're found in one other place, which is kind of nice. They're found actually in the content. So once you've opened up Module 2, remember, in order to see Module 2, you have to have completed the module check-in at the end of Module 1. So once you go to Module 2, you can actually look and see in the activities when the due dates are. They show up for you. So make sure to get in there. So Module 2 activities are due this Thursday, March 7th. And this module is on navigation. Navigation meaning how students navigate through your content, how students navigate through your course. What I really like about this particular module is it helps me conceptualize how I put my course together, which then helps me align my course to my objectives and so on and so forth. And then thinking about how I chunk that content. So go through this module. It's got some good stuff in it, and really it talks about, in a sense, symmetrical section building. And what I mean by that is that each module kind of has a similar rhythm, a similar start. You start with your content, maybe you've got a video or whatever, and then you go into your activities. Now your activities can be a little different, but the layering of them, how they show up, is essentially the same. So make sure to go through the module, check out the movies, the videos, and all the good stuff in here, some good stuff. And then you'll go into the activities, which include a workbook, and then a course outline. Now, a course outline is another great way internally, I think, A, to help my students know where I'm going, right? But B, I really like it because it helps me, again, make sure that I'm doing the right thing. And what I mean by that is in many course outlines I've seen where they'll do the course due date, the course topic, and the course activities. Where I've seen instructors have some great success is when they actually find a way to layer in an objective in the outline too. So not only it provides the why for the student in that outline, but it also helps the instructor make sure as he's looking, or he or she is looking at the activities, they can backtrack and know, here are the activities, here's the objective. Yep, that jives, that works. It's just another way to help us internally align our curriculum. So anyway, just a thought there. And then Module 2 check-in. So that's for Thursday. Well, then the third due Sunday is probably my favorite module in the course, and that's on the elements of design. Specifically, we talk a little bit about universal design for learning, and here's where I this is kind of like the three musketeers, if you will, of instructional design, right? Design for one is design for all, or design for all is design for one. So the more accessible I make it for a specific the more accessible I make my content, every student has better access, and you'll learn about how Ally can help with that in this module as well. So, what I will just say is there's some great activities in Module 3 too. We have the content, then there's the workbook. We have a nice journal where we actually have you reflect upon your first experience with things like accessibility and universal design and stuff like that. But then we've got a discussion where we actually want you to pretend like you're explaining to a colleague or your best friend something about universal design or accessible design, and you'll see that when you get there. And then lastly comes the one activity in our entire program that you will do in two places. What does that mean? That means that you will actually go to the course you're an instructor to do the activity, and you'll come back here to this assignment and say, I've done it, and submit it. There are instructions in there that are pretty clear. However, if you have questions about those instructions, make sure to reach out. So that's what's coming up. So Module 2 is due on Thursday. Module 3 is due on Sunday. I hope that's helpful. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about one other thing. So a fun way to make your discussions a little more interactive, a little more lively in your courses. You may or may not be aware that Kaltura offers two options for recording video. One is that thing where you can download the software and it records your screen, records your webcam, records your voice. It's a great software, but it can be a little intense for like a introductory or a low stakes kind of thing. And a great way to encourage interactivity, encourage engagement, and find the ease of use is to use a different feature of Kaltura, and that's Kaltura Express Capture. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to open up just a dummy course, right? And let's go with this one. It's a fake course with fake students in it. And let's say under Module 2, I want to add a discussion, right? So I'm going to go in here, and here in Module 2 of this course, I'm going to create a discussion. And I'm going to call this discussion Quick Video Intro to the Topics. And I'm going to give my students some instructions here. I'm going to tell them using Kaltura Express Capture, and I'm going to show you where to go later where you can actually upload the instructions for this right to the students so they don't have any question about how it works. Introduce this week's topics in 3 minutes or less. You know, something fun, getting them to do something with video. It could be introducing themselves. It could be talking about something, but it's just their face talking, getting them to talk about the subject matter, right? So I'm going to hit save, and I've got that in there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to, I can turn on grading for this discussion. So I can say, you know what, it's going to be graded. And the due date's going to be, let's make it the 8th. And it's going to be worth, let's go with 5 points, right? And I'm going to hit save. So now I'm going to take a look at this one, make it visible first. But then I'm going to come back and I am actually going to do this discussion as a student, right? So, so let's say I already have the instructions in there. I'm going to turn on my student preview for this particular course. And remember, student preview is really important from an instructor standpoint because it really helps us dive through our content and let us know what it looks like, right? So now I'm going to scroll down back to my second module, and oh, did I do them in order? Shame on me. I did them in order, so I'm going to have to let me do something really quick, gang. This is what you call not fun when you realize you've done something you shouldn't have. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back and change some of my release conditions because I don't want to force my students to go through this in sequential order. So I'm going to actually cancel and edit my module and uncheck force sequence and hit save. So now my students don't have to go through it one at a time in this particular module. So I'm going to hit student preview, start preview. There we are. And I'm going to go back down to nutritional needs and open up this module. Oh, again, apparently I need to look at my content before I do it because release conditions, visible to students. Yes. Boom, now it's visible. That's what I want. So back to student preview. Third time is a charm. Here we are at student preview. And I'm going to go in and do this content. So I'm going to go to nutritional needs, right? It opens up. I'm going to go down to this quick video. I'm pretending I'm a student now. I'm here in my discussion. The instructor's giving me the topic. He or she is giving me instructions on how to do it. So now I'm going to go in here and I'm going to do a video introducing a topic. Well, how do you do a quick video introducing a topic in a discussion like this? Very easy. I go to my drop down. I'm going to choose content market. And it's like a 3-step process, guys. And then I just go to Kaltura Mashup. And it will load my Kaltura interface. And then I choose Add New and I choose Express Capture. So I click Express Capture. It just takes me to a page that has a screen of me as well as video and microphone. And if the student wasn't comfortable with video, they could just use audio. You could give them that choice to allow that. If they're not comfortable with the video, they could just have audio. So at this point, all I need to do is hit start recording. It gives them a countdown and I start with a smile. Hey there, this is my introduction to the healthy eating module discussion. And I would say that moderation is key and to not starve yourself of the things that you love, but be sensible, make good choices, eat better more often, but don't deny yourself everything forever, otherwise you'll be unhappy. This is just my personal opinion. So anyway, there's my intro for this topic. Then I would hit stop. And it took me literally 20 seconds to record. That wasn't anything too hard. And I'm going to choose use this. Or I could choose play to hear myself or re-record it. So I'm going to choose use this. I could then name it. And I would give them these instructions too. Intro to healthy eating topic, student Spradlin. If I wanted to. And then I could provide some text. If not, when I'm ready, I just choose save and embed. And then hit insert. So it would then place my video right into the discussion. It would take a couple seconds to process because I just literally recorded myself. So it would take a little bit of time, but I would hit respond. And it would drop that video right into the discussion. So once it was ready, you could go in and other students could go in and reply to it with their own videos and make it a little bit more interactive than just text on a page, right? So were I ready? And again, it's going to take a couple seconds to load because I did a fairly, it also depends on the time of day that you're recording your videos. If there's high usage, if there's some internet speed issues, there's a couple things that are happening. But ultimately, this quick video is going to show up in this discussion for me. I did it. I can hit exit and I can hit save. I'm not going to discard because I want that data to still show up in my course. And then as the instructor, I could have gone in and either checked my grading to see what needs grading. Oh, look, it even shows me in my quick video intro in the topic. It shows me that I've got discussions. So one of the things Ultra does well, outside of just it'll show up in your activity stream, it's going to show up in your needs grading in your grade book, all those types of things. It also shows up in the content. So I click on my content, open it up, and you'll see that it's got It's still processing, but it's going to show up in just a bit. And when it does, I can play that video, which I think is worth the price of admission to make the discussion a little bit more interactive. I hope that's helpful. It's pretty easy to do. It's really like a 3-step thing. So where can I find that quick guide that I can upload and put in my course so that my students know how to do the Express Capture, you might be asking yourself? Well, good news, everyone. Inside the instructor support org, or the Teaching Online with Blackboard, the faculty resource org, those things that every one of us has access to. It's an organization in Blackboard. You'll know you're in the right place when it's got this giant banner right here of this person in front of the board, right? I go down to Blackboard Ultra Quick Start Resources. I go to Ultra Quick Start Guides. I can then go down all the way to the K's, and it'll say Kaltura Express Capture. I can click on it. And here in Kaltura Express Capture is the actual PDF. I can choose to download that PDF and put it right into my instructions. So I'm going to go and put it save it into my course. So now as the instructor, I can actually come back to say, oh, look, there's the video. So the healthy eating module discussion, and I would say a video shows up right in the discussion, and the students can reply with another video. And so it's more interactive. It's a little bit more engaging than just text. Or you could just have them post the video and reply with text, either way. But now I can come up here under my edit and actually add in, attach, should I want to. And I'm going to my files, which you can't see right now. I'm going to wait for it for just a second for those to show up. Sometimes they take my computer to, there it is. So I'm going to put the Quick Start Guide, and I'm going to rename it to How to Use Kaltura Express Capture. How to post a discussion quick video. Save. And then save. So not only do my students have the instructions, they also have the guide that they can then have access to, which will tell them how to do the thing. Again, it's a PDF guide, so it's openable by anyone. But again, the ability to have this quick and easy video right here inside a discussion. They didn't have to download any software. Literally like a 3-step process for them to get the video in here. Didn't take a lot of time, wasn't too stressful. I will just say to you, it's another way to do some engagement in your Ultra courses that I find is helpful for people that want to do maybe some do their introductions a little differently. Everyone's introduction has an introductory discussion board where they're saying, hi, here's my name, here's something you don't know about me, blah, blah, blah. How about doing 2 truths and a lie with a video? Telling 2 things about you that are true, 1 thing that's false, and the people have to find the falsehood. Anyway, any way that you can think to introduce the subject matter, introduce yourself, just a quick engaging way, an engagifier, as I like to call it. So I hope you're doing well. Thank you guys so much for your continued work through the cohort. You're doing a great job. Make sure to pay attention to our due dates coming up. Thursday again, Module 2, Sunday, Module 3. We don't take away your birthday if you're not making the due dates quite at the times. It's not that big of a deal, but we do want to encourage you to kind of stay with the group as much as you can. If you do forge on ahead, make sure to come back before due dates so you can reply to discussions and see what your colleagues have posted, because there's value in that interaction. I hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday, and we look forward to seeing you work through the program.